So a little story time before I start this review. I've already tried to do this review several times, and I even tried to film at a different window just to switch it up for you guys, but I went to edit it and I looked like an absolute alien because the lighting just was not complimenting my face. So instead of making you guys sit through an alien giving a book review, I figured I'd just refilm it under this window, and I'm never going to be able to leave this window, so because it's the only area in my room that has good lighting. Now, in case you weren't aware, it is the year 2013 now, and if you weren't aware of that, then it is the year 2013. And in the spirit of New Year's resolutions and the like, I figured that I would attempt to do the 50 book challenge this year, because if you guys know me from Goodreads, you may or may not know that I was a really avid reader in like 2009, 2010. I read like 70 or 80 books like each of those years, and once I started college in 2011 and 2012, my reading kind of waned a little bit. And for example, I was checking my Goodreads account the other day and I read like 16 books in 2012, which is not really like me. So I figured I would not only force myself to read 50 books in 2013, but I would also document it on YouTube. So to kind of kick this year off, the first book that I read in 2013 was Beautiful Chaos by Kami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. And in case you weren't aware, this is the third book in the Castor Chronicles, the first book being Beautiful Creatures, and the second book being Beautiful Darkness. Now, even though the Castor Chronicles is one of my favorite series just in general, Beautiful Darkness moved really slowly for me, and I don't think I'm the only person who felt that way. It was just a lot of exposition, like 350 pages or so of it, and while the ending made you realize that all of that was necessary to move the plot forward, it was still kind of hard to wade through, you know, them just walking around the tunnels and Lena being difficult and etc. That's why I went into this novel with a little bit of trepidation, because I figured that in the spirit of the Castor Chronicles, I was going to be forced to read through about 350 pages of a really slow-moving plot in order to get to anything interesting or climactic. I was actually really surprised, though, at how engrossed I was in this novel from the very beginning. Even though there's not a lot of action going on per se, there's a lot of plot elements being developed, and it's a lot more dark than the first two books, and a lot more depressing, actually. So to keep this review relatively spoiler-free, simply because I don't feel like I need to divulge any spoilers in order to review it, Beautiful Chaos is kind of the fruition of the choices that Lena made throughout Beautiful Darkness and Beautiful Creatures. And it kind of threw the world into the apocalypse. It kind of almost reminded me, as I was reading Beautiful Chaos, of the kind of mood that Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows had, because as I was reading that book, like, something just felt off, and the mood was kind of established based on that disconnect from the rest of the series, if that makes sense. It was just really gloomy, and just, it purposely felt off. And the same tone is kind of apparent in this novel, which is probably why I liked it so much, because it stood out from the first two books. To keep this review relatively spoiler-free, I'm not really going to talk about it that much, but I did not see that ending coming at all. I tried to keep away from because I never really read reviews of this novel, and once I actually got to the ending, I was like, what is this? Why am I crying? For the record, I didn't actually cry, but I did feel, you know, the sting of teardrops. But all in all, I mean, this book is easily 5 stars. This series in general is 5 stars, because while it sometimes has its downfalls, it always redeems itself. It's easily one of my favorite YA series, second only to the His Dark Materials series by Philip Pullman, because I'm always going to love that series. I'm actually looking at Beautiful Redemption longingly on my bookshelf because I know that it's the last book in the series, and once I read it, it's going to be over, and I'm going to fall into post-Castor Chronicles depression. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I want to post videos a little bit more often, not so sporadically. It's my plan to post at least once a week, because with the 50 book challenge, that's about one book a week, kind of. Now I'm still trying to get the hang of this whole video reviewing thing, because I've been writing reviews for quite a while now, like multiple years, and writing reviews is a lot different from filming reviews on video. So I'm still trying to get the hang of it. Maybe I'm doing a good job, maybe I'm not, maybe you guys hate what I'm doing. Either way, it's cool. I actually already have some books lined up that I need to review already, so I'll probably be seeing you guys very, very soon.